working principle of operation of DC generator. Okay. All the generator works on the principle of dynamically induced EMF. Okay. Yeah, and this generator, field winding is stationary, armature winding is rotating. That means the EMF induced in the armature winding is dynamically. That means conductors are rotating. Okay. The field is stationary. In between north and south pole, the conductors are rotating by using external prime mover. By using prime mover, we have to rotate the rotor. Then EMF induced in this conductor and the current will be generated, and then okay. So the power output across the output terminals, so you can observe that is called power. Okay, that is for generator. Okay, so rotating conductor placed in a stationary magnetic field. So the EMF induced in the conductor, that's called generator. Fleming left. That's called Faraday's law. Okay, that is called induced EMF, dynamically induced EMF. But in transformer, there is no rotating parts. No? There is no rotating parts in transformer. Winding is stationary, but magnetic field is varying. That is called AC. The flux is changing. That is called magnetic field is varying in a transformer. But here, flux is stationary, but conductors are rotating. Okay, rotating conductors placed in a stationary magnetic field, it experiences some EMF. That is called dynamically induced EMF. The principle is nothing but the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. It states that whenever the number of magnetic lines of force, that is called flux, links with the conductor or coil, changes an electromotive force is set up in the conductor or coil. The change in flux associated with the conductor can exist only whenever there exists a relative motion between conductor and flux. Okay, the EMF induced in this conductor whenever there is a relative motion between these two. Okay, flux and conductor. Okay, then relative speed exists between the conductor and the flux. Then only this EMF induced. Okay, that is called dynamically induced. Okay, so like that's a DC motor, DC generator is working. Understood. So by using one animation video, you can easily understand this concept. Try to observe. So this is a DC motor. The DC motor's terminals only two terminals. That is called positive and negative. The motor is having only two terminals, but in a three-phase, but in AC, six terminals are there. But in DC only two terminals. That is called positive and negative for motor. Okay, for a DC motor, so only two inputs. So that is called plus and minus. Okay, this DC machine. So this is called stator, same as induction machine. So here also this induction machine is having stator core. This is called stator core. Is not made by single solid material, single solid type of material. So it is having different type of steps. This core is made by different type of shields or sheets or strips. Okay. In each machine, that is maybe transformer or induction machine, whatever it may be. So every machine, the core is made by, so like this, by using different type of strips, and each sheet is isolated, that is called laminated. Between the insulation is used, okay, because of to reduce the eddy current losses. Okay, and DC machine is maybe 2-pole or 4-pole, so whatever it may be. Okay, that poles are fixed, is not changing. The polarities of the poles are fixed. So by because we are giving the DC supply, okay, when you are giving the DC supply, the poles are always a fixed polarity. This is called one pole. Okay, this is called field winding. Okay, the field winding is used to generate the poles, north pole or south pole. Okay, this field winding is used to generate the poles in a stator core. This is called rotor or armature. Generally, it is called armature. Okay. So armature in this, it is called different type of slots. In this slots, the winding is placed. Okay. So winding is placed. So that means here, this field winding, this called field winding. So it will be acting as a north pole and it is acting as a south pole for two pole machine. This is generally two pole machine. It is acting as a north pole and it is acting south pole. Okay. Stationary magnetic field. The flux lines are leaving from north pole to south pole. So like this. Okay. And this stationary magnetic field, the conductors are rotating. For example, this is rotated by using prime mover, externally by using prime mover by a turbine, by using external turbines. So if we are rotating this conductor in a stationary magnetic field, so there exist EMF in this induced in the conductor. Okay, because of that EMF, current is developed and okay. So that is the principal operation of generator. For motor, okay, for motor we have to give the power supply. Okay, so field winding is excited by DC. We are giving the power supply to the motor externally, and the rotor is also excited by DC. Okay, that means the current carrying conductor, the rotor is also carries the current. The current carrying conductor placed in a stationary magnetic field, it experiences a force for motor. This is called current carrying conductors. We are giving the power supply through brushes. Okay, the armature winding carries the AC. Okay, so this is called commutator. This is called commutator. Commutator is converting DC to AC. Commutator is converting DC to AC for motor. For generator, AC to DC. For generator, here AC is generated, then AC is converted into DC by using commutator. For in generator, for motor, so we are giving the power supply to the in motor DC. That means it converting DC to AC. That means armature always carries only AC supply. Okay, it's this the armature winding carries only AC. Okay, so for motor we are giving the DC supply. Then DC is converted into AC to the armature winding. And then current carrying conductor placed in a stationary magnetic field, it experiences a force that is called Faraday's law. According to the Faraday's law, the motor is rotating. Okay, so like this. So motor is rotating. Understood. So this is called brushes. So this is called slip rings. This is called slip ring. So by using these brushes, so we are to give the power supply to the rotating part. Okay, we are giving the power supply to the rotating part through the brushes. There is a contact between these two. The black one is called brush. Okay, the black displays. This is called brush is connected to the commutator segments. Okay, then the power supply is passing through the rotor and this color one terminal and this color another terminal. Okay, so like this, the power supply is given to the this. So this is called field winding. Okay, this is called pole core. Here it is called pole shoes. This is called pole shoe. Okay, this is called pole core. So North Pole and South Pole. Okay, this how these poles are generated by using field windings. If you are placing this field winding on this pole core, okay, same as this. So like this. So this is called pole core. So this is called pole shoe. So this is called a field winding. This is called field winding. Okay. For permanent magnets, field winding is not required. But to generate, but by using separately excited or self-excited, by using some external winding, the field winding. So we have to generate North Pole and South Pole. Okay, by using field winding for large machines. For small machines, that is called toys. Permanent magnets are used, but large machines, okay, the field winding by using field winding, the north pole and south poles are generated in DC machines. So because of controlling, speed controlled is easily by using field winding. If you are using permanent magnets, the field control cannot be possible. Okay. The field control is very difficult if you are using permanent magnets. Okay. So this is called a north pole and south pole. In this north pole, the flux lines are leaving from this like this. Okay. And entering to the south pole like this. This is called field winding. The field winding is this called pole core and this is called pole shoes. This is a armature winding. Okay. Armature winding. So this is called brushes. Okay. So this is called brushes. So this is a rotating part. Now. This is a rotating part. Brushes are stationary part. This is called stationary and this is called stationary. But this is rotating. Okay. So we are giving the power supply to this armature winding. For motor, so the input is nothing but DC. Okay. We are giving the power supply to this motor externally through the brushes to the armature winding. Okay. This plus or minus. So that is called external DC supply. This is called commutator segments. Commutator. Okay. Permanent magnets. If it is a permanent magnet, like this flux generated from north pole to south pole. The flux is links through the armature conductors like this. Okay. So when if it is permanent magnets, the north pole, the flux leaves from the north pole and enters to the south pole. So in between, this armature winding is placed like this. Okay. Generally, this is called armature. So we are by using external supply that is called DC. So plus is connected here and minus is connected here. Okay, this because of this power supply, the current carrying conductor. So here this is called current carrying conductor. So when external power supply is connected to this, okay, current carry conductor is placed in a stationary magnetic field. This is called stationary magnetic field. Okay, it experiences a force that is called Faraday's law. Okay, according to the Fleming left-hand rule. Fleming left-hand rule. Based on Fleming left-hand rule, the current direction will be like this. Okay, current direction is in this direction, and flux direction will be in the direction, and force direction on this conductor is upward direction. The force direction on this conductor is downward direction. Because of that, it is trying to rotate in anti-clockwise directions in this direction. Okay. According to the Fleming left-hand rule, okay, this finger, there are 3 fingers are there. You know, well, I think Fleming left-hand rule, thumb and middle finger, point finger, thumb finger, placed perpendicularly. Okay, that point finger indicates the current direction, and middle finger indicates the current direction, and this finger indicates the point finger indicates the flux direction, and this thumb finger indicates force direction or torque direction. Okay, according to the Fleming left-hand. Okay, so the flux is generated and the torque is generated and rotating in like this manner. Okay, so before the current direction and when it comes to here, the current directions are reversed. Okay, the current direction is like this manner, and this here the current direction in this conductor current direction is changing. Same conductor here, current direction is in this direction, but current direction here, same conductor, current direction is changing. Like that, AC current is flowing to this conductor, armature conductor. Current is changing, polarity is changing accordingly by using. That means these slip rings are converting. This called commutator is converting DC to AC. Okay, that current carrying conductor placed in a stationary magnetic field, it experiences force. So if you are using only 2 conductors, okay, you are using only 2 conductors, this one conductor, this conductor. So because of that, there is some vibrations in rotation. Okay, if you want to reduce that vibration, so for smooth operation, for smoother operation of the rotor, we have to use more number of conductors. Okay, by connecting more number of conductors using by increasing the slots. Okay, by using increasing this called commutator segments, by increasing the commutator segments. Okay, so like this. So this is another segment and another segment. By introducing, so previous only two segments are there for this. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 segments are. By you increasing this like that segments, commutator segments. Okay, the winding is placed in is more, and then the torque will be generated uniformly, and that is so smoother operation can be done when we are using more number of segments. Okay, so like this, if you are using the in this also, in this winding also, in this winding also, the torque is developed. Okay, and then smooth rotation is possible if you are using more number of commutator segments like this. Okay, the winding, the armature winding is constructed like this manner, so more number of slots, commutator segments. Okay, and then the rotor is rotating smoothly, so without any vibrations. Okay, the current carrying conductor, this is called current carrying conductor, this is called armature winding. This placed in a stationary, okay, magnetic field, and it experiences a force and rotating like this. Okay, so this brush is contacting through the commutator segments like this. This is called brushes. Then, so rotor, this is called rotor. The rotor is having slots, and that slots, so the winding is placed. Okay, the rotor is having slots, or a number of slots. This is one slot, another slot, another. Okay, in this slots we have to place the winding. Okay, well, this is shaft. When it is connected to the shaft and it is rotating, we are to give the power supply by using brushes. So to connect, to make the continuous connection between brush and commutator segments, so these springs are used. Okay, understood. So like this, motor is operating. So then stator core, also your rotor core is also not made by single solid material, and also stator core also is not made by single solid material. Okay, it's made by different above strips or seal sheets placing together like this. This core is formed. Understood, and each strip is isolated, placing some insulation between these two to reduce the eddy current losses. Well. Okay, so based on connection, so this based on connection of this, so rotor and field winding, armature winding and field winding. There are two different types of DC motors are there based on connection. If it is a armature winding and field winding is connected in a parallel. Okay, this armature winding, this is called armature winding, and this is called field winding, are connected in parallel. So that motor is called shunt motor. If the field winding, this is called field winding, no? This is called a field winding. Field winding and armature winding are connected in series. That is called series motor. Understand? Field winding and armature winding are connected in the parallel. That is called shunt motor. For otherwise shunt generator. Okay. If field winding and armature winding are connected in parallel, that is called shunt generator. Field winding, armature winding are connected in parallel series. That is called series generator or series motor. Based on connection of the winding, this motors can be or generator can be classified. Okay, based on the field connection and armature connection. Okay. So like this. So this is called one pole and this is called another pole. Okay, this called field winding externally. So we are giving the power supply to the field. So here field winding and this is called armature winding. Okay, this is called field winding. It's connected in series with this called armature winding. Na? Connected in series with the field winding. That's why this is called series motor or series generator. For series generator, the field winding and armature windings are connected in series. That's why this is called a series motor. Oh, okay, understood. This is for series motor. For shunt motor, this field winding and armature winding are connected in parallel. Understood? For shunt motor, so this field winding, this is called field winding. Okay, this field winding and this called armature winding are connected in parallel. That's why it is called shunt motor. Understood? For series motor, the field winding and armature windings are connected in series. That's why this is called series motor or series generator. This generator output is electrical. Okay, so this rotor is rotated by external mover. For motor, input is electrical, the output is mechanical for motor. Okay, so only one that is the difference for generator and motor. Okay, for generator, output is electrical, input is mechanical. Okay, for motor, output is electrical, output is mechanical, input is electrical for motor. So that's why it is. So for motor, we are giving the power supply to the field winding, and this field winding connected in series with the armature winding. These field windings are connected in series with the armature winding. Okay, that's why it is called a series motor. And in shunt motor, so shunt motor, so like this, the field winding and armature winding. This is called field winding, and this is called armature winding are connected in parallel. That's why it's called shunt motor. Okay, the shunt motor is used for constant speed application. The speed is constant when the speed versus torque characteristic. Okay, for speed versus torque characteristics of shunt motor, constant. That's why. So try to observe here speed versus torque characteristics. Based on these characteristics, this motor is used for constant speed applications. Okay, for here for a series motor, at its time of starting, okay, the speed is very high. When torque is equal to 0, speed is very high. Okay, so that's why this under no load condition, this series motor cannot be operated. So because of very torque, very speed, dangerous speed. Under no load condition, series motor goes to very dangerous speed. Okay, you can easily understand by using some derivations. I will explain later. Okay, and also this series motor starting torque is very high. Series motor starting torque is very high. That's why this series motors are generally used in traction. Okay, traction means railways. Okay, in the railways, these series motors are generally used for at the time of starting. Okay, this series motors to run the motor, to run the train, starting torque is very high. Torque is very high. High starting torque is required to start the uh, train. No? To move the train at the time of starting, is starting torque is very high. So, so for that applications, this series motors are used. Okay. So like this motors are operating. Okay, then the back EMF concept. So coming to a dish machine. Okay, so whenever a current carrying conductor places in a stationary magnetic field, it experiences some EMF. Okay, that EMF is called back EMF per motor. Okay, so that you can easily understand the back EMF. So some amount of EMF induced in this rotor whenever it is rotating. So whenever it is rotating on a stationary magnetic field, North Pole and South Pole, the EMF is generated. That EMF is called back EMF. Okay, so like this, a rotating conductor is placed in a stationary magnetic field. Okay, so in that case, there is a displacement between the magnetic field and the conductor. Because of that, the EMF induced in this, okay, this EMF is called back EMF. This is the back EMF in motor is always opposes the main field EMF. Okay, the EMF opposes the main field EMF, the back EMF. So like this, the EMF is generated. That EMF is called back EMF in DC generators. Okay, so this is about animation video. So like that, DC generator is operating. Construction of a DC machine. A DC generator can be used as a DC motor without any constructional changes, vice versa. A DC generator can be used as a DC motor without any constructional changes. Okay, for changing the input. For motor, we have to give the power supply. For generator, we have to give the mechanical rotations by using external prime movers. Generator input is nothing but mechanical. Motor input is nothing but electrical. That is only changing. Okay. DC generator or DC motor can broadly termed as DC machine. These basic constructional details also valid for construction of DC motor. Okay, for generator and motors are both are same. Okay, so try to consider this is called yoke DC machine, yoke external part. This is called yoke of DC machine, and this is called terminal box. Okay, in terminal box, this is called field winding. This is called field winding. Okay, so this field winding is placed on pole core. This is called pole core. Okay, the pole cores are used to handle the field winding. This is called pole. This is generally 4-pole DC machine. Okay, this is called pole core and this is called pole shoe. Okay, pole shoe. So this is called pole core. This is called field winding. The field winding on this pole core are placed like this manner. If this field winding and armature winding, this is called armature winding. Okay, so field winding. Armature, this is called rotating part is called armature. The rotating part is called armature. So this is called armature conductors. Armature conductors are placed in slots. This is called one slot, another slot. So like this. Different type of slots are there. In this slots, armature conductors are placed. Okay, this is called commutator. Okay, this is called commutator. And the commutator, the brushes are placed. You know well. Okay, from animation you can observe. You are observing on it from animation. So this is called commutator. Okay, this is called commutator. So on that commutator, the brushes are placed like this. Understood? So this is called commutator. If the more number of commutators are increasing, the number of armature winding coils are increasing. Okay, the commutator is used to convert AC to DC or DC to AC. For a DC motor, input is DC. That's why it is converting DC to AC. The armature winding is always carries AC. So that's why the commutator is converting DC to AC. Okay, the AC current flowing into the armature winding. For generator, this is AC and is converting into DC. Okay, this commutator is converting DC to AC in a generator. For motor, it's converting DC to AC. So like this. Okay. For a motor, it's commutators are converting DC to AC. For generator, commutators are converting AC to DC. Because of the armature winding, AC is generated. Okay, in the armature winding, AC is generated and then converting output terminals through the commutator. Okay, that is called DC. AC to DC converting for generator. For motor, DC to AC. Input is called DC and it is converted into the AC into the armature. Okay, it's called brushes and commutator and terminal box. So like this, construction of the motor. Stator and this is called rotor. Stator is having poles, stationary magnetic field. Okay, this is called not a permanent magnets. Okay, the magnets are these magnets this that not but field. This field can be controlled by using external power supply. That's called field winding. External supply. By using external supply, this field can be controlled. But in a permanent magnet is not possible. No? So this is control. That's why this for large machines, field control can be possible by using external. So for small toys motors, the permanent magnets are used. Okay, this is about DC construction. So yoke, pole shoes and pole cores. Okay, this is called a yoke. Okay, so outer frame of a DC machine is called a yoke. It is made up of cast iron or steel. So like this. Okay, this is called yoke. And then poles and pole shoes. This is called a pole core. Okay, this is called pole shoe. The pole core are used to place the winding. Okay, and then field winding. Okay, this is called a field winding. So generally, this is called field windings are placed on the pole core. Okay, so that is called field winding and armature core. So this is called armature core. Armature, no? This is called armature core. Armature core is a rotor of a DC machine. Generally, it's called like this. Armature core is nothing but a rotor of a DC machine. Okay, so this armature core like this. So the armature having different type of slots. In this slots, the winding is placed. Okay, so the winding is placed in each slots. So you can understand. I think you are understood by using animation video. Understood. So in this, so this called slots. In this slots, the windings are placed like this manner. Okay. So this in this winding, this called winding is used. This called slots. Okay. So the air holes are used to dissipate heat. And then armature winding.